So let me guess. This is episode
33.
Season 3, episode 2.
No, we don't have seasons on this one.
Some of the episodes are marked as a season.
Are they marked as seasons?
Yes.
Wait, since when did we have seasons on 500 Cats?
I don't know.
Sorry, I was looking at how to ski it.
You just scrolled down.
Episode 30. I did just scroll down.
It was also 33 though, so
500 Cats, plural.
episode
33. And it's a podcast about events and kind of, you know what I feel like I finally figured out what this podcast is about?
let's hear it.
It's a great way for me to keep my friends and family informed on what I'm doing.
Oh yeah.
And that's it. So that's our 11 listeners. We produce podcasts as an AV company, and we also have another podcast, which I'm not recommending you listen to either, which is about skiing. And we just started that episode off with how much growth there's been, and that podcast grows 10 or 15% an episode.
Yeah.
And this one grows 1% an episode.
Between 1 and negative 1%.
Yes.
Every episode.
We have had, which I've never seen in a podcast before, we have lost listeners.
Absolutely.
Because we don't really talk about a ton that's meaningful, and we're too lazy to get guests. Although we were going to get a guest today, and it's somebody that would not have turned us down if we told them that our first choice didn't show up. And then they would have felt bad for us. I won't say who that is. But they produce events in North America, and they're a celebrity. Maybe next time.
There you go.
So, off-season. Weird.
Yeah, super weird.
I don't know what to do. And because there's so little happening, I'm not motivated to do what little there is happening.
I agree. It's been weird.
There
It's
should be a
been
name for
challenge.
that, like eventatosis. That you work so hard. And me and Marcus had talked about it. Everybody at this table have worked so hard this year, but it was the very end of the season that was the hardest, where it was 20 hours a day of travel and airports and then you get home and they're like, can you sign this form? I'll leave it on your desk. And it sits there for 2 weeks.
I think it's called burnout.
Yeah.
Is that the right term?
It's hard to get back into like a normal human routine after traveling for 4 months.
Yeah.
Like it's just weird, like going grocery shop and be like, wait, I can cook lunch.
Yeah,
for
I feel
myself?
like every time I come home, my dog looks at me and is like, "You're still here?"
Yeah.
And today, most of our clients closed their office last Friday. And we might not have been open today, except we had like 3
We had 4 different
meaningful
meetings.
calls
Yeah.
back to back to back to back. And I think everybody just wanted to be ready for next year.
Yeah.
And I think we are ready for next year. But man, the off season it's probably, and not to equate us to boxers, but I think the event business is like boxing, where you sometimes win and sometimes you lose really bad.
Yeah, sometimes you go up against an actual boxer and get your jaw broken in 2 places.
I was just going to say that.
But it just feels like this event season, it's like I just don't know what to do.
Yeah. Well, and normally we ski a lot, which is what our other podcast is about. But right now, the weather is so warm that you said you went and mountain biked yesterday. There's not really a lot of skiing to be done. So in the office, we've been like working on our inventorying everything, top to bottom, redoing it.
Yeah, and I mean, I do think that's something to talk about. Like, what do you do in the off season? Get ready for next year.
Yep.
And so Dylan has redesigned our travel spreadsheet, which soon is going to be turned into an application.
Yep.
And then we've never done good at inventory, and we have so much stuff.
Yeah.
And so what do we do? What do event personnel do? Get a spreadsheet.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, that's what we did last year that failed.
And we're actually making an iOS app.
The dogs are super stoked about it.
Yeah.
That's why you don't
The tax hound.
have a Cocker Spaniel in your lap during 2 podcasts in a row.
Oh, man, that's the quote of the day. I think both titles for both episodes should be
That's
why you have a Cocker Spaniel in your lap.
When you record a podcast. And now he's like, wait, I'm ready to come back in your lap. Anyway, off season, weird.
Yeah.
I have gotten, I track my sleep, and I have started I'm like 3 nights in a row of more than 8 hours sleep. So the bags under my eyes haven't gone away.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a while to fight that battle.
Yeah. So, and when you aren't traveling, one thing I have made hay with is I've worked out every day. We got home from Qatar, and then I probably didn't work out like the next day. But then after that, I've started working out every day and missed like 1 or 2 days since then. We had some significant power outages here in Boulder. So there was a couple nights I got home after dark and the power was out. So working out was not impossible, but less likely.
I don't think I've worked out. Not in any kind of meaningful way. I've put on my weighted vest.
And you have an Ironman coming up in 5 months.
I don't know if Bob listens to this podcast or not, but he's about to start being a real asshole
about at least
in a very positive way. He's going to help me.
At least my Strava shows that I'm showing up. It doesn't show much because sometimes it's like 30-minute bike rides and stuff. But
yeah, I have a trainer, and right now it's so beautiful outside. I need to just go ride, but I haven't.
Yeah, well, now's the time.
Now's the time.
You got the holidays.
Yeah.
So one thing we can do now that we've rambled for 10 minutes of the 40 minutes we shoot for is, as a company, we did our favorite events and we did our like top 10 events. And I was a little bit surprised on our top 10 events.
Well, top 5.
Top 5. That's right. We didn't do a top 10. We did a top 5.
Yeah.
Everybody voted for 5. And then we took all the votes. And so I think there was 8 people that voted on it. And then
That's correct. Yep.
And then what we called as our company, our top 5 events. And then we just disenfranchised the rest of our customers that weren't on there. We didn't have meetings with any customers today that weren't in the top 5.
That's accurate.
So, and what came up first, and so I couldn't vote for this event because I was in the studio, and I know after the voting we clarified being in the studio doesn't count, or did we? When I voted, I didn't vote for any events where I was here in the studio.
I did the same thing.
I voted for things that I was in the studio for.
Okay, that's cheating.
I disagree completely.
So anyway, it is what it is. The votes went out, but the number 1 event, and we should have started at the bottom, but we didn't.
What are you talking about?
What's the studio?
We go 5-1. Why would we go 1-5?
Okay, so to build some suspension.
Yeah.
So, well,
our 20 listeners are used to quality of building suspense.
and this is where I kind of disagreed then at the most. And so I was at both of these events, but tied for 5th, like what a cop out there, first of all, was the Ironman World Championships in Hawaii and Ocean Man, which took place in Miami. And if there were 2 events on our schedule that were more different, I think CSRA was less different than those 2 events. I mean, they were both on a beach, but nevertheless, they were crazy different.
Yeah, I would agree.
And just for my list, Kona was number 2.
Got it.
Behind my number 1, which didn't make the list. We can talk about that later. So Kona and Ocean Man.
And Ocean Man was your number 3, I see.
And Dylan was in Kona with me, and Ryan High was in Kona with me, and John Michelle was in Kona.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like a big part of the team went to the island. And then Marcus and Mel and Mike were here in Boulder.
Yep. And
Dee Dee.
Yes.
Because we did a
Correct.
remote studio, and I had no faith in the concept of remote studio, we had Dee Dee come into the studio in case we needed to do a backup remote studio.
Which was awesome because we had her, she helped us with like graphics and talking through, hey, does this look good? You know, like, does this make sense? It was nice.
She knows what she's talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she's one of our favorite people to work with. But so anyway, any comments on Kona or Ocean Man? Ocean Man's an open water swimming contest, and we got to work with people who I really, really like, including Casey Taker, and it just was a well-run event, and the vibe was positive. You know, you go to some events, and I think it's not the athlete, it's what they're about to go through, and they're freaking. And so there's a lot of stress and tension, and people are short and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I would think swimming 10 kilometers would put people in that mood, but it didn't. Everybody was very nice. I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but everybody was Latin. It's Miami.
Yeah.
Like, whether you like it or not, like a lot of times people think like not everybody in Miami's Latin. No, they're not. But the events I've done there, they are.
Yeah.
So almost everybody was Latin. So it was a hit.
Nice. That's awesome.
Kona was Kona. I mean, it was hard, but only because we did really complicated, hard things and we succeeded at them. So that's a plus. That's what makes it cool. And also, I mean, working in Hawaii.
Yeah.
So it's Hawaii.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was pretty sad I missed that one.
Yeah. Sorry, Ryan. He got kicked out of that event for another event and
Which became my number one event of the year, but
that's the truest thing in the world. When you get good at your job, you get screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, that happened to me for a long time where I got good at things and then they're like, we need you to go to this first year event and be the face of the mistakes.
Yeah.
and skip Ironman.
Hey, that happened to me this year.
So, yeah, exactly. And that's the thing at first year events, like a lot of times, and whether it's a first year event for the customer or a first year event for us, it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
So anyway, any more comments on Kona or Ocean Man? Number 4, the LT games.
Oh man, I love the LT games. That was my number 2 on my list. It was just so. It was the first time we had done and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it is the first time we've done a multi-camera broadcast at a fixed location.
I mean, other than like soccer or lacrosse.
Or corporate.
Corporate, we
Criterion.
don't ever do like multi. Oh well, yeah. I guess indoor though is what I meant.
Oh.
I should have said. I should have specified indoor because we have done, like you said, soccer, Criterium, but Criterium is actually kind of on the same level of like all coming back to on-site, mixing down on-site. So I didn't get to be involved in the Littleton Crit. I was in Canada for a first year event, and so getting to do the LT games was a lot of fun, and it was so different than what we typically broadcast that it was a lot of fun to be in the environment where I'm actively watching it take place and switching.
Because we do so much remote production. And you're right. I thought that was unique where we do so much remote production. That means it either goes to a van or it goes to a studio here in Boulder in the events and wherever. And there, if you were unsure of what you were seeing, you just looked up and looked out onto the court or whatever. It took place in a basketball court, but it was I don't know what the right term is. And I know they're working hard. They don't want us to say it's like CrossFit or it's like High Rocks, but it's a lot like CrossFit and High Rocks.
Yeah. a physical fitness competition that has multiple different legs.
It's going to be a hit.
Yeah, it is.
It was a hit. And we had a call with them today, and we're scheduling one for late April, and Marcus will be the lead on that.
Yep. Which I'm excited about. It's awesome.
And they're good people. Like the
Great
Lifetime
people.
Fitness people are good people. So they ended up all across our production.
Yeah.
Or our top 5, rather. Top 10.
Yeah.
Top 5.
Correct.
So moving on to third place, the Twitch Expedition. I think this is probably the least known event when we bring it up.
Yes.
Because as much as it had a huge viewership and was a mammoth production, it wasn't geared towards our existing audience. It was geared towards Twitch streamers. Twitch is a platform for live streaming that mostly focuses on gaming and social media influencer kind of stuff. Is that inaccurate?
Yeah. Yeah. It's primarily video game streamers who play the game while they talk to their viewers. It's very designed around immediate interaction with your audience. And so the Twitch Expedition, they utilize that connection with the people's audience to do some of the games in it, which, I mean, talk about unique.
Yeah, this took place in California on a ranch with 0 cell signal.
Yeah.
We did everything with Starlink, including the main studio was all done with Starlink, and there were a bunch of Twitch streamers, and they had to wrangle up sheep. They had to count chickens. They had to milk goats. Like, it was very ranch-esque, if that's a term I can use. And then it was very complicated in the sense that the athletes or contestants or participants were mic'd up. And then we had NAT audio, and then we sent 9 different streams out, one main program stream, and then each competitor had their own stream.
Yep.
So on the upper limits of complexity, and it all went well. And we got to work with a really cool company out of Canada called the Boombox Group. And what's funny about them is that they're great people, for one, but it turns out their owner went to Western State, where me and Melinda went to college.
That's awesome.
What a small world. We met so many people this year. We talked about Nat Ross, the mountain bike Hall of Famer, the mountain biking with them, and turns out he went to Western State at the same time. And this guy from Boombox, TJ, he came in like the year we left, but nevertheless, I think they're onto something at Western State.
It sounds like.
So the Twitch expedition was super cool. Stressful.
Do you think that was...
It was stressful.
Do you think that was the event with our record number of staff?
Yeah, for sure. I think we had in the mid-20s.
Yeah.
We had 4 people in studio, which is
probably more than that. You and Mel, the 2 replay people.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess that is 4.
Yeah.
I was thinking, and then the replay person.
Right.
So, yeah, and then we had 18 on the ground. And another thing that made that event awesome, which I have a feeling I'll never see again in my life, is catering.
Oh, yeah.
Like real catering.
Yeah. You know, like,
I'm not used to that.
So here's where I think this is the only one that I voted for where I wasn't on the ground. The reason that I consider this a valid vote, even though I was in the studio, is this is the most complex switching I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, your involvement was a little bit more than usual.
Yeah.
And then I forgot Tom, who works for us. He wasn't here in the studio. He was in Poland, but he did a lot of the interactivity and stuff like that.
And I forgot, Tom, and we had another guy helping with those online streams.
Oh, that's right.
I'd forgotten about that.
So I think we figured out it was 25 people, which is more than usual, but no duds.
Yeah.
Like everybody
100%.
that we're out, you get a group of 25 people together for an event, you're typically going to have some duds, and we didn't. And I'm super happy with that. And the place we did it in California was unbelievable.
Yeah.
The ranch was cool. And then this was just in Central California. And something we used to do at events a lot that we don't do anymore was when we were done rolling out, was about midday one day, and we went to the Palisades National Park.
That's awesome.
And went splunking in caves, and it said, do not go in here if you're not prepared. And we're like, I got my iPhone.
Yeah, we're good. I'm good.
It wasn't as dark as they said. It wasn't a true cave. It was more like a slot.
And the ranch owners couldn't have been nicer. Like, they let us into that house and just, it felt like home.
Yeah.
It was cool.
That was a cool event. And that one did come up on, like, I don't love our top 10, but that one did come up on mine as, I think, 3rd.
Here, I'm looking right now. You put it in 4th, it looks like.
Yeah, I knew it ended up on my list.
Yeah.
So, cool event. What's next?
Next, we had 2nd place, Gravel Worlds.
So I didn't vote for that one because I was in the studio and as the director, and as much as I couldn't agree more that it's where it deserves to be at the top, I wasn't there. So I didn't vote for it. But what a cool event.
What a cool event. I mean, honestly, what always makes that one of my favorite events of the year is the people. It's the vibe at Gravel Worlds is so uniquely fun that, and that has a lot to do with Jason and Sophia, that it's amazing.
Yeah. They do some things that are, I don't even know how to describe it, almost wacky.
Yeah.
But it works so well because it's the opposite of any other event that would say, we're not going to do that because we're a corporation.
Yeah.
And those guys are like, we're going to do that. We're going to squirt champagne in your face.
90 bottles.
Is that how much they
Was
squirt?
that right? Because it was they like
was
upped
ridiculous.
it from last year.
Yeah.
Last year it was like 40, and so this year it was like 85 or 90.
It was my first time shaking a champagne bottle.
Oh, really? Oh, you know what? Mine too, because I didn't do it last year. They had enough for everybody to have one.
And it wasn't like, it was like, you too, do you want two? Like, do you have your brother in the car? Like,
Yeah, that
Awesome.
I have not been to Gravel Worlds. I did go out there on the site visit. I was
Yeah.
able to bicycle the course the first year, and I was able to meet everybody in person and on site and do some of the prepackaged content, but I haven't been to the event itself, and it always looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's a special one.
It is a special one.
With some crazy mud pits this year after the
It was
rain.
awesome.
That's another thing is like there's a spot where we stopped at the bottom of the hill and no one could ride their bike up. It was so muddy. And the shot of them trying to ride or run, all of them had paint sticks to knock the mud
It was
out from-
epic.
Epic.
And
so cool.
I think what was most epic about that is none of our motorcycles went in and got stuck, which I would have definitely went in, and I definitely would have gotten stuck on a motorcycle. And we were able to relay information, and camera 2 went around to catch the leaders coming out, and women's lead turned into camera 2, and we swapped everybody around to be able to cover it properly, and nobody got confused.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was super cool. And then we brought it all back together where everybody was in the right position. And then we had some camera problems. So we had to swap people around again. And that to me, I was like, wow, I would have never guessed like women's lead could be like men's chase without either me screwing it up by calling them by the wrong name or them not understanding their goal.
Yeah.
And we aced that.
Yeah.
That was cool.
100%.
That was a great race too. That it was just a good race.
It was.
yeah.
That
great
the
race.
men had a small pack all the way to the finish, and the women had 2 people like break away. And then, you know, we kind of heard they were going to finish together, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
That they raced it out at the end, and kudos to that event.
Yeah. 100%.
I was a big fan of the venue, like the finish line all moved indoors to the Sandhills Event Center, which was like a rodeo ground, like a auction house, I think. I could be wrong. Something like that. But it's like an indoor rodeo space, and so it's all dirt, but our tent that we operated in was indoors,
Yeah.
which is sweet.
It was awesome.
Yeah, it's a blast. It's very Nebraska.
The cell service was mediocre when you guys went indoors. I could see a difference in the quality
I
of
believe that.
It wasn't that it went away or got choppy, but it went from like high def to like 720.
Well, it wouldn't have been sharing with the Starlinks anymore.
Yeah.
It was the Starlink going bye-bye.
Yeah, so we maybe put a Starlink in, like put a repeater or something inside a AP.
Totally.
Okay, well that was
Number 2.
number 2.
So number 1.
And again, I didn't vote for this because I wasn't there.
It got 3 number 1 votes.
I think this was our best work last year.
Leadville Mountain Bike 100.
And the reason I think that was our best work, and is if you listen to the podcast, is basically going into the race, everybody was like, these guys are going to fail.
Yeah.
They might have gotten away with doing this stuff in downtown Houston, but they're not going to get away with doing this in the high country of Colorado. And it worked out.
It worked out.
There's some things that I would like to do better.
Yeah.
I do. The biggest criticism we got, and the biggest piece of criticism that we got that I took seriously, because a lot of times when people are like, why don't you have 2 helicopters?
Right.
I don't take that kind of criticism seriously because of the price of a helicopter, was that we didn't cover Kate Courtney climbing up power line on her way back.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that we were like, we don't need to cover her, is that shuffling motos and helicopters and fueling of helicopters around to make sure we don't miss the finish. We sent our helicopter to fuel up. And then, yeah, even though she had won the race basically already, it would have been cool to see.
Yeah.
She had such a dominant performance. I would love to have seen her just grind out up power line. And if you don't know what that is, it's like a few miles of really, really steep climbing.
And like rocky climbing.
And we showed the men there.
Yeah.
But remember, our chopper was there to show the men, and it stayed, and we had to go fuel then. We could have maybe stayed a couple minutes later, we had to fuel then to get back to catch the men coming out the other side and have enough fuel to stay for the women on the other side, which we did do. But that criticism I thought was legit. But what a cool event.
Yeah, amazing.
What a cool event.
It definitely takes the cake for the best lodging of the year. That's for sure.
Oh,
Place is
man.
sick.
We had this awesome VRBO like in the in the outskirts of town, and man, there was something like 300 acres of private mountain biking like for the neighborhood.
Yeah, it was just like
And so
protected land.
We just took our mountain bikes out the garage and went
into the backyard, into the woods.
Just pick a direction.
You just pick a direction.
Me and Dylan the last day went and just vibed it out. Just like, well, we'll figure it out. Oh, okay. This one dead ends. Take a left now. Let's go.
Yeah, and it's like really well done, like community trails of it's not like manufactured like a lot of new trails are, but just the neighbors just going out and hiking and riding their dirt bikes and mountain bikes and good times.
And you guys had the top pros over there for video interviews. And I remember I was jealous of that because we don't know the top pros in mountain biking as well as we know the top pros in triathlon.
Yeah.
And even cycling for that matter. But in mountain biking, we don't really know them, but to have Kate Courtney and Keegan and I can't remember
Cam
everybody.
Jones
Cam
there.
Jones.
And then, why'd I just slip on her name?
Second
Rollins,
place,
Melissa
yeah.
Rollins.
Who seemed like just
awesome.
from the interview seemed like the most easygoing of all of them.
She was, I think I even said this whenever we talked about Leadville back then, but it was like, she was so cool, so nice. And then like we got done and I'd stop recording and usually people are ready to get out of there. And then we just kept talking just about Leadville and stuff. It was awesome.
So Leadville, number one. And again, everybody thought like it wasn't going to work. I got a few calls from industry insiders and they're like, how you feeling? And I'm like, well, not good that you're asking me. But it really did go well. And then, I think what was surprising is all the comments on YouTube were positive.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. They weren't.
All of our YouTube comments are always positive. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I'm getting better at Marcus, you were on the call today that I brought up a comment that was common in one of our broadcasts, and I made sure to say like, let's not listen to anything they say, but this one's legit.
Yes.
Like this was like the criticism of not showing Kate Courtney.
Go back to the men's race.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing. We get people say you're showing too much men, you're showing too much women, and the comments are right. And we just shoot for 50%. We actually shoot to show more women than men, and it comes out to 50%. That's how broadcasting is. But we always shoot for 50%. And the worst we've ever been shredded is when we were like right at 50%.
Yeah.
Nobody likes 50%. Like the people that would rather just watch the men don't like 50%. And the people that want to have equal coverage for the women, they don't like 50% either. And we actually pay attention to it.
Yeah.
Which I think when you turn on YouTube and then like immediately go to the comments because you've watched 5 whole minutes of the show, you might not know as much. But anyway, so Leadville, number one. I agree with it even though I didn't vote for it because I wasn't there.
Yeah.
I want to talk about my number one vote.
Okay, go ahead. Let's hear it.
My number one vote was Sea Otter. And although it was an event that did not go great for us as a company because it was our first stab at gravel / mountain biking / helicopter / new customer, I was in awe to this minute thinking about how much of the bicycle industry in the whole world was at that venue, the Laguna Seca racetrack.
Yeah.
And I'd heard about Interbike and stuff like this, and I couldn't believe that the expo was the size of a small city.
Yeah.
And I couldn't believe how many world-class cyclists were just walking around. And, one that like me and Eddie saw at the same time because we're older was Tinker Juarez. And we're like, hey, there's Tinker. And if you grew up in the 90s with mountain biking, like the guy was a legend. And how many people like him that we were able to meet and run into and see demos. And I mean, like there was a bike company that had a pump track built and most of the big vendors had 2-story expo displays.
It was crazy.
So I thought it was super cool. And I also enjoyed Monterey.
Nice.
That there's a
Monterey's
Chili's
great.
in Monterey.
Spectacular Chili's.
And what was the brewery? Dust Bowl
Dust
Brewing.
Bowl. Yep.
Yeah, kudos to them.
Yeah.
They have a beer called The Therapist.
Which is excellent.
Is excellent. High in alcohol content.
10.6%.
Therapist.
And so it was a fun event because of Sea Otter, but also we had fun.
Yeah, we did. A lot of memories were created.
Memories were created, and not all
Good
of them
and
can
bad.
be talked about on the podcast, but
But they were created nonetheless.
it had been 10 years plus 20 years maybe since I had to run from the cops. And that's how good of an event it was.
That was the first time I was ever shut down trying to sneak into an expo after hours. So kudos to the security team.
So it was fun. We met a lot of good people, but that was my first choice and it didn't make the list. And my second choice was Kona.
Yeah.
And then one that I don't think anybody voted for, but is always a big event, was Ironman Texas. And so I not only got to go to the event, but then I flew home the night before the event to do the broadcast.
Yeah.
That was your first honorable mention.
Yep.
Texas was?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought that was in my top 5.
No, honorable mention.
And then I know one of my other honorable mentions, which I'm a little surprised didn't make the list, was the Boulder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what?
Boulder was
I
several
forgot.
people's honorable mention.
I forgot about that.
It was just a half a day.
I think it was in my full top 5.
Yeah, it was just like such a short event that it's kind of a unique event that you got to get there at the crack of dawn and you do your facts test by covering the top age groupers and wheelchairs. And then you sit around in VIP and eat
Yeah.
and not drink
Which was wild. Yeah.
for 4 hours and then cover the pro race. And that was cool. And we're on tap to do that again this year. And it's fun to work in your hometown.
We should
and
drink next year.
during that 4-hour break.
It'd probably make the broadcast better.
It might.
I love the behind the scenes, seeing all the inner workings of how they put on a broadcast at Folsom Field.
Yeah, the University of Colorado invited us to come. We co-produced the Boulder broadcast with the University of Colorado. And you're right, that was super cool. That I love broadcasters that are like, let me show you how we do it. And they came here first. And the guy walked in and saw our studio and was like, okay, I only have like 5 minutes. But then when we explained exactly how we do everything, he was really interested. And then he was like, will you guys come to the University of Colorado Event Center and so you can see what we do? And then that was cool.
Yeah.
Like
Super cool.
It's big time.
That's awesome.
So that was an honorable mention. Any of your guys' events that didn't make the list or?
I mean, the other, like, we had so many awesome events. Like, someone voted for all of our events, basically. Boulder was on my honorable mentions, but CSRA, Business of Running, which was one of mine on my voted list, Foco Fondo, the Littleton Twilight Criterium, like, we had so many. And then, I mean, to go through the list of all the Ironmans on here,
Yeah.
it's like Chat, Coeur d'Alene, St. George, Zell MC.
The Littleton
Oregon.
Criterium could have been an honorable mention for me too. That was a blast.
It was a lot of
Yeah.
fun.
And I've never had a customer be like, here's what we want. Now go do it. Goodbye. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
That's how Foco was, too.
That was
Yeah,
my number 2. That was my number 2.
Was Littleton?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was super cool.
And we broke out a brand new piece of equipment, which was a terrible idea. And don't tell the customer this. And had it not been the most well-designed piece of equipment of all time, it could have affected the event.
Yeah.
But because it was a Roland HD80 or something like that, video switcher, and I've never worked with a device that's so intuitive.
Yeah, I mean, we basically pulled it out of the box and we're like, I wonder if you can do a 2-box. And we didn't even like look on our phones. It's just like, oh yeah, here we go.
Yeah, we were able to
Two-box
do
button.
things by the end of the broadcast that it took us years to learn on the TriCaster.
Yeah, years.
So that would be my piece of equipment of the year. So
Yeah, and just like the run and gun of, we had stationary cameras, mobile cameras, drones, and it was all like wireless, basically,
and Criterium,
in Criterion.
which is awesome.
Fast.
And if you know us, we do a lot of audio. audio people are jerks. The audio people at the Littleton Criterium were amazing.
Amazing.
All they wanted to do was make sure that our stuff was the best it could be.
Yeah.
If we didn't show up with power or anything, the audio people would have taken care of us.
You know, we should also shout out the DJs at the Lifetime Games for that same reason. Like, those guys were like, we've got the XLR. Where are you going to be? Right here. I'm going to run it to you right now. And then they were walking around like, hey, does it sound all right? If it doesn't sound all right, come tell me. And then when they were changing mics, they came up and were like, hey, you're going to lose audio for just a second.
Yeah, those guys were pro. And like, there's nothing like more that we hate than audio people except for DJs. And we had one at Ocean Man that I also thought was like the coolest guy. And they kept telling me he's like a Grammy award winning DJ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how do you win a Grammy as a DJ? Well, he actually won, like, he was part of winning a Grammy for like the best Latin album of the year.
Nice.
That he produced for his mother, who won it. And then he told me this so heartfelt story when they went back to Peru that they were just like heroes to the whole country because they had won a Grammy. And then he was just a really good DJ. But like I said, working together, he was like, hey, I'm going to take a break. Can you take over? Hey, I'm back. How about 5 minutes? And then it just got to the point where we just didn't really need to communicate.
Yeah.
Like, it was just like part of our team. So
that's awesome.
Lifetime Games DJ and Ocean Man DJs, awesome. And not to take away from any of the other DJs that we work with, because most of the ones we work with are pretty good.
Yeah, true. Unfortunately, we work with enough good DJs that it's starting to change my attitude towards DJs, which I don't appreciate.
They're like bands.
Yeah.
Like, the crappier the band, the harder they are to work with.
Yeah.
And then when you get a chance to work with a very professional band, it's like really easy. And that's why they're professionals. And that's why they got successful, because they didn't rub every venue the wrong way.
Absolutely.
They made every venue be like, hey, we should have those guys back.
Yep.
So, all right. Well, that was our best events of the year. And that's what we got to talk about when there's no events. Our next event is going to be,
I believe it is not the business of running. Sorry, the bowler running clinics.
Yes, which
the 17th of January,
which is such a cool event because it's geared towards cross-country, high school cross-country running coaches. And last year we went in and just thought it was another event. And it turns out the guy that runs it, Jay, and since that I've mentioned that I met him, is like beloved in this community.
Yeah, as he should be.
And then the guests he brought in last year were as good of guests. And these are they're the best cross-country high school coaches in the world. But they're also amazing public speakers.
Yeah.
And it was really cool. So I know we're looking forward to that one.
Yeah.
And then we do Rock and Roll Arizona, and then we do our yoga.
Yep. For Coyote Yoga.
Which is
practice intensive, which is awesome.
Which is 7 days of yoga broadcasts.
Yeah. Which is awesome. It's so unique too, the yoga, because it's Zoom. So it's all, we're not broadcasting it. We are bringing the yogi in on Zoom, and he's controlling the cameras remotely so he can see everybody throughout the whole venue and comment on specific people's form.
Which is harder than it sounds.
Yeah, it is.
Because everybody's thinking, well, how hard is it to bring a Zoom in? Okay, and then one camera to have control it. But bring in 4 or 5 cameras and have one person who's not there be comfortable controlling all the cameras.
Who's a yogi, not like a camera operator.
Yeah.
Exactly. And who's very specific at what he wants. He wants to be able to see this person at this minute and be able to talk to them.
Yeah.
And so it all works out. And they're a good customer.
They're
nice people. And we've talked about this on the podcast before. Like, I know a lot of events, they don't know what their plans are for the next year. But other events know exactly what their plans are for the next year, like them. And before the event's over, they're like, you guys good for next year?
Yeah.
And we're always good in January.
Yeah.
So until next time, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever
Happy
else.
Hanukkah. All of them.
All of them.
Whatever you celebrate, enjoy, be safe.
What do you celebrate?
What do I celebrate? I don't really celebrate.
Dylan?
No, I
Oh,
celebrate.
Dylan, you
Christmas.
got kids, so you celebrate Christmas.
Celebrate Christmas, yeah. Celebrate kids.
Yeah. Ryan?
I'm gonna celebrate the new year.
Yeah.
Nice. I'm going to do that for sure.
I'm going to celebrate all of it, but Christmas, of course, is.
I'm gonna
The-
celebrate this year by bringing it next year because we did some cool shit this year.
Yeah, and it's good to not have a bunch of stuff going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm gonna
So
enjoy
we're
the
gonna-
downtime.
We're going to close for like 12 of the next 13 days or something like that. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for listening. Sorry we don't have anything interesting to talk about.
Let it snow.
Let it snow. That was the other podcast.
No snowflakes falling, no frozen streets. Barefoot walks where sand and sunlight meet. The palm trees shimmer a different